What is something you should feel bad about but don't?
You go first.
So for me, one of the things that I don't feel bad about is if I have to call out of work. Now that I'll be 41 this year, and I remember so many years of feeling bad and feeling like I have to explain myself because I need a day to myself, or I need to put my
Yeah.
family first, or and I'm really wanting to get to a point where I'm not explaining myself. I shouldn't have to explain myself. I'm a grown man. And if I need a day, even if it's a mental day, because you got to keep in mind, guys, that if you're not mentally okay, you got to take a day for yourself. You can't put on the bearing responsibility of I got to keep showing up, and then you have a mental breakdown. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now where people are having mental breakdowns. You
On
gotta
a regular basis.
right.
Yeah.
Life is very hard right now for everybody included. And I feel like there should be some type of grace if you're working for a company or you're working somewhere where if you need a day, you should be able to request a day.
Right.
And, they don't give you a 30-day notice whenever they need you to do extra work or come in a day off or something like that. So I feel like it needs to be respected both ways.
Yeah, I think that there's multiple issues with the fact that we feel that we have to make up something in order to
Yes.
take a day.
Right.
There's several reasons why I'm against like working for someone, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But in reference to like the calling out thing,
Right.
we are made to feel that we have to lie if we are not physically sick to call out. Even when you're physically sick, there is still something in the back of your mind where you're like, dang, they probably think that I'm lying, even though I really am
Right.
sick. And I don't like the fact that companies try to force you to go to the doctors to get a doctor's note
Which
to
can cost
prove
even
that
more money.
you're sick,
Right.
when everything does not everything does not require for you to go to the doctor to get
I
a
agree.
doctor's note.
Right.
Not everyone has the proper insurance to be able to just take off work and then go to the doctor just to get the note. Not for the
Right.
doctor to help solve the problem, but for the doctor to give you a sick note to prove that that's why you're off. Like,
Right.
that's ridiculous.
Which is going to cost you about $1,000 if you're doing an ER. So
Yeah, like,
and if you don't have actual regular doctor, then you're going to go to the ER, which is going to run you. Yeah, I think
it's crazy.
I think that's crazy. The reason why it's such a sore topic now is because I actually work for a place now that's actually really good about if I need a day and it was the first time I've ever actually felt supported in
like,
my
oh,
life.
snap. Like, they ain't tripping.
Right. In my entire life, it's the first job I ever worked where I
Yeah.
felt supported from the company. And like I said, guys, I'm 40 years old, and that's crazy that I'm just now finding that. And there's a lot of people that don't have that. And
Right.
those are the people I'm speaking to right now whenever I say that. Like, you shouldn't feel bad about being sick or having to call out. Or I even go as far as to say a mental day. I really believe that.
They do not care about your mental days. And
Right.
sometimes you just don't have the mental capacity to deal with people at work, to deal
Right.
with the job itself. Like, you just, there's so many things that it's just like, y'all, like, we as a society, sometimes we have to just take a day and like, it's kind of like an ongoing joke where, and it's funny because Mari ain't never worked a day in his life, but he's the one that's always used to this joke where, let's say we see a car flipped over on TikTok or like just some type of random video where something tragic
Right.
happens. And then he'll make a comment like, oh, so you're going to be 5 minutes late, like, to work? Because that's how they be. Like, you could be in a legit car accident or something happen, and they're like, oh, so 20 minutes
Right.
late? Like, you still coming, though, right? And it's like, dang, can I take care of business real quick? You know?
Right.
So it's an ongoing joke.